And hello, Esperanza.
Hello. Special greetings from Spain in Seville.
Yeah, you're bringing the warmth of Seville to us in the northern countries. I imagine UK is raining and Amsterdam is definitely raining at the moment. So we could use a bit of warmth. These conversations with a yogi started maybe a few months ago, maybe um, 6 months ago or so, when I encountered a set of questions, which I liked a lot myself. They were thought provoking. They inspired me to think about what do I find interesting and important in my journey as a yogi and meditator. And and I got the thought, why not share them with fellow yogis and fellow meditators, and see what wisdom occurs from these questions. So that's a bit of the background. And as we go along, I have a few questions. And yeah, if you want to join me in answering them and feel whether you have a question yourself, we can see how it goes. And we'll end up with a short meditation of 3-4 minutes from your end. So that's a bit set up for this. And as it was shared by Iwana, I just want to start, if it's okay with you. Is that okay, Esperanza? Can I start?
Ready.
Ready?
Whenever you want.
I don't hear that much. People say they're ready whenever I want, but thank you for that. Um, you have been meditating for a bit in a while, over 30 years. What has life taught you so far? What are the lessons that you have found valuable?
Okay. So many gifts of life when you start a path where you know you don't know what you are going to find, especially within yourself. But you start to see good things that you didn't even know. Um, I think that is the biggest surprise for myself to know that within there are some treasures, some inner qualities that they are real and I can use. It's like you are the closest being of together, no, next to you, and you know yourself. And little by little, you start to really know your shadows and your lights. And that is so interesting that you prefer to choose your lights and be able to find solutions to any shadow that can go across. So this is like the starting what I really appreciate in this pathway of meditation, of this journey within.
Thanks. And it is also interesting what you're pointing to, like the good things, the qualities, and the treasures, because usually in today's world, we know our defects, we know our weaknesses, and we might focus a lot on those, or we might want to overcome them, but without knowing that there is some innate goodness in us, it can become quite a hard journey. It can become a bit tough because we are only focused on the negative, right?
Okay.
And what you're sharing is, you know that there is innate goodness in you, there are treasures, there are qualities. And with those set of jewels or armors, you can overcome any kind of darkness. Can you tell us a bit more? What are the good things and the qualities and the treasures you found? What is there?
Well, these are common treasures. These are common things we talk about a lot. But one thing is what you see in any book, or even, in the banks. You can see, if you do this, you will gain some happiness. But it's not true that doing that you get happiness. So when you find like real treasures, the real happiness comes in the sense that you don't need to find outside what is inside yourself. For me, the most beautiful moment is that I'm the master of my life. I don't know if it sounds too, but that means my mind is no slave of things outside myself. So that make me more aware that every decision and everything that I do, I'm mastering in my life, not that dependency. So that make love becomes more real. Let's say it's not just a dependent love, it's not an attached love or a mixed love, but very clean from the friendship, from you don't want anything from anyone, just to share the best and see the best. So everything becomes a big virtue, speciality becomes like, let's say, cleaner or pure. Is a nice word because it's no mixture. When here in Spain we have a very nice olive oil, and people really buy the 100% pure olive virgin extra. That is quality. So when the quality within is with no mixture, is a different experience. Happiness, love, we have talked, peace, like that inner strength. Inner strength is not external power, is something that keeps you stable when things are not stable. So I have discovered in myself that they are useful, not just nice words, but they can be very important when someone is not respecting you and you keep changing your vision and see something in them with, let's say, good wishes, let's say, with a merciful, special eyes. So you don't see their weaknesses or keep their defects within yourself, but really you have an experience that they are special, even though they are not expressing their best, but they have something they are passing through, and I can see something special in them.
That sounds very, very appealing and attractive and practical, what you're saying. And you said quite a lot of interesting things in what you just shared. Beginning with this phrase that you used, I am the master of my mind. I'm the master of my life, meaning I'm the master of my mind, the way I'm thinking and I'm operating in this world. And I have immediately two questions coming up because it's a very interesting topic, I think, for all the viewers that will watch this video back. When you say I'm not slave or independent or dependent on things, what do you mean by that? You're master of your mind, you're not slave or dependent? What are the things that you could be dependent on? How does that work?
When you have to choose or take a decision, and immediately someone comes to your mind and you say, but I'm not sure if they will, if, because, there is a pull in the mind of someone or other people, that means you are not choosing by yourself. You always have that priority that they will approve if I do something that I have to choose, something I need to do by myself, but I never take a decision by my own. When I say slave, I'm talking about emotionally dependence, where there is not enough freedom because of fear of someone else's opinions. So in that sense, we have to do a nice work of not, it's not that you don't care or you are not considering how everyone else and you go by yourself and don't mind anyone else. I'm not talking about that. Because respect is a beautiful and very important and sometimes forgotten value within this world nowadays. So can I keep a balance between, taking my own decisions and see what is best, but at the same time having others into consideration, respecting them, but not being affected with their, I mean, they should not rule my life in the sense that I should not be afraid of their own decisions in my own decisions. I don't know if I able to explain in this sense.
Yeah,
But
but
free means free.
being free, that feeling of being free. It's not something physical, like I can do whatever I want and deal with whatever how I like and forget about other people, but internally being free. And
Is
what's
different.
yeah, it sounds like you're referring to that. And what comes up for me is when you share about this is the balance between self-respect and respect for others. Is that what you were referring to as well?
Yes, I think when we start to think by ourselves and have an important decision in our life, like you have to do something, do it without fear. Do it without doubting. Do it without worrying others' opinions. And at the same time, have that sweet regard that don't push anyone. And as you said, it's not the freedom that I really go and roll everyone, doesn't matter what. No, it's a very soft way of doing things, but firm inside. I'm not really taking, mm, I'm not taking no shadow on myself. Because sometimes, any decision, I'm always like keeping the past of something that happened to myself, or that is not free, no? Because you keep the past or the fear of the future. What can happen if I do this or that? So is that kind of keeping the present and be able to be like your own master, your own artist, the artist of your own life. You are modeling or creating the life you want to live. And that is not an external thing, because sometimes we cannot work in the work we would like. we don't have the money that we would like, that is another thing. But can I have the thoughts I would like to have? The feelings? Is my heart clean enough to have good feelings and not keeping grudge on anyone? That is freedom. When I don't keep the defects of others in my heart, I don't keep their past even. If they have different ideas, if they have different decisions, I respect them, but I discern by myself what is more appropriate at any moment. Because, what is appropriate for me cannot be the most appropriate for you. So we need to have a clear discernment. I don't know if it's now more clear.
It was clear the first time. I like this. Well, the thing that I'm very much hearing is that when we are slaves or when we are dependent, we are under the influence of emotions, basically. The fear, the doubt, the worry. And the example that you're giving is about what others think. But of course, the fear, the doubt, the worry can be about anything, about the past, about the future, about the situations and circumstances. For everyone, it's something else. But I'm enjoying that you're giving a very specific example, because then we can make it less abstract. It can become concrete and tangible. And I liked the question that you asked there. Can I have the thoughts and the feelings that I would like to have in this moment? Can I be the master of my own thinking and of my own feeling, regardless what other people's experience might be, or what other people's opinion might be, or what other people's emotions might be when I'm, for example, making a decision? I can hear them, I can respect them, but can I stay stable in myself and have my own thoughts? And for me, I don't know how it was for you, but I remember that when I started on this journey, it was not so clear for me even what I liked, because I had been quite externally orientated, always about other people. What do other people want? How can I make them happy? How can I make them comfortable? So even this question of what are the thoughts or what are the feelings that I like can be quite an exercise for some people, no? To really experiment and think, what is it that I value in life?
When you have, a few on the wall, you learn also. You learn with good experiences and you learn of difficult lessons, both things.
Yeah, we always can learn indeed, and that's a good thing. And we can always start as an artist. You mentioned the metaphor of the artist, and artists always can start with a new canvas, with a blank canvas, regardless how the previous canvas was, how the previous painting or drawing was. We always can take another canvas, and that canvas is completely blank, and we can fill it with the colors and pictures that we would like now in the moment, regardless of how the past was or how the future will be. Just to give an example, you were talking about a situation. I would like to make it more concrete. This being the master of mind, this being free of doubt and worry and choosing our own thoughts. You said, let's say someone is not respecting me, respecting you. Can I have good wishes or pure feelings for that person? Can you guide us a bit through the steps of what you do? What do you think, or what you do or say to them or to yourself in such a situation? Let's take that situation as an example.
It's a good example because this is how we find ourselves in some moments, real moments. And all this, all about love and respect, nothing else. I'm not believe that love is when you just say, I love everyone. But you know, you don't talk to anyone and you don't find any difficulty because you don't relate to anyone. So I'm not sure that it can be called love. It's when difficult situations come and people who act as you don't expect and things happen that you don't know what to do with them. In those moments that are not so easy, having good wishes is the way as love and respect work. I, to love the ones who really defame you or are difficult for you or are not nice with you, the ones who become like a mirror and are showing us the things that we don't see by ourselves. That's those blind points that are uncomfortable, but they are good for us. It's like a medicine that is not nice in taste, but is good for your health. You need it. So yes, for those people who are not very, I wouldn't choose, but they come. They are very good teachers. They are showing me something that I can learn in a way that maybe make me stronger. So I accept. And good wishes, the other day happens to me in the bus. I was going to, it's a free bus, but it's not totally free. You need a special card. And especially, students who are in university, they take it. So I have the card. And there was a young boy who forgot the card. And, he could not go in. And because we have done all the times, I say, come, and I do it for you. But the driver was not in his best day. I say, I didn't do for him yet. I say, but you have to ask me. But like in a threatening way, shouting as nothing. You have to ask me, like 5 times. And I say, yes, I was going to do it. After I did it for myself, I was going to do it. But you have to ask me. So I know I was feeling like good wishes. Otherwise, any other person will have react because it was like a lot of anger. And even I was like shocked at the first moment. It's like, but I just want to help this poor boy. Otherwise, he has to go like more than 40 minutes walking. But no, I was patient. Like it could have seemed like a slave, but not because I was mastering my emotions. At the moment you are mastering your emotions, you're the master. If I'm not feeling or having bad wishes towards that man, then I'm losing the love and I'm becoming influence. I'm losing good wishes and my capacity of forgiveness. At the end, the boy was so happy. He said, can I invite you to have breakfast? I said, no need, no need. But yes, but still I having good wishes for the driver because he was not okay at that moment. And who knows why? the problems that people have, the situations they are passing through. How? Who I am to judge? Just for a little event like that. So simple, but nice lesson for me. In uncomfortable situations, able to forgive and forget.
Yeah, it sounds like the driver was really in need of respect. Usually, I don't know about Spain, but usually the drivers are not, they're looked down on. They're not people who are receiving a lot of respect, even though they do a lot of important work. So I imagine someone shouting and saying, "You should have asked me." They're longing for consideration and respect in that moment. And you mastering your emotions is quite a interesting thing. Like in the eye of the storm, how can I put into practice what I learn in meditation? Because meditation is not just sitting on a cushion or on your chair and feeling the peace, but then when you go in your day-to-day life, how are we managing that peace? Am I still feeling that peace? Can you give, maybe you don't remember it, or maybe you do, you're talking about good wishes, but what was the example? What were you thinking at that moment? Did you have a thought about yourself that was good and positive? Can you share one or two with us that is helpful and you feel comfortable, or you had a thought about the driver at that moment that was helpful? Can you give that example?
I remember I have a thought of sadness. This is not the best thought, but the sadness is, if I'm doing something that I consider is good, how can be so difficult? But then I say, but now I need to do something good for this person who is more needed, the boy of this person. And that changed my feeling. It was not anger what I had, it was sadness for the first moment, like I I don't understand why you are doing like that. But then, the feeling that good wishes for you because you are a good person and I'm sure love is needed and regard is needed. So I remember myself changing this in like a little fight inside of sadness and justice, no? And then love, good wishes.
This is a very interesting and honest sharing that you're doing here, and I'm sure many can resonate with it, if not I myself. And this is something that I learned at our spiritual university, Brahma Kumaris, the check and change. It doesn't mean that I'm always in peace, but if I can feel that something is coming up, and in this case, it's a very touching example because you were thinking you were helping someone, you wanted to help, the intention was to help, but actually there was someone else in front of you that needed the help more. So with this checking the self, feeling the sadness and thinking like, okay, I'm helping that person, but actually this person needs more help, it also changes. Your intention is still the same, helping whoever is needing it, and wishing the driver the best is like calming also him and making him feel seen. Very practical. That brings me to another question that I would like to ask you, and which is a bit related to this, but I'm sure you have something more to share about it. How do you understand the concept of karma in terms of cause and effect? If you want to, I know it's a very big topic, but if you would like to touch up on it in a nutshell.
Well, I think it all depends on my intention. So I will take into consideration few aspects to pay attention to my mind. What do I think? Because I need to have a pure intention in my thoughts and feelings. Otherwise, my mind gets influenced and I become down, depressed, and anything. So paying attention to create a good account with my mind. Then with my body, I need to respect my body because my body is my instrument, my temple. I cannot give anything to my body to eat, for example, or to do anything with it because it's my instrument and needs to be really of quality, how I respect. I'm not attached to the body because that creates some consequences or trapping it or thinking that I am the body because that creates then that dependence to the body. But just respect. I am not this body, but it's my vehicle to live and I respect it because there is a deep connection between mind, soul, let's say, and body. Then I will take in consideration the respect towards people. So many karmic accounts, let's call it like that, are creating with the people because it's the source of happiness and sorrow. So sometimes there are misunderstandings and and all what we have been talking about good wishes and all that, it has to do with the people. So I'm not an island. We are here to relate, but relate with respect. Otherwise, there are accounts that I need to pay. Sooner or later, they will come. And also with things, possessions, money, all that I need to use in a worthwhile way. Mobile is something that is not a problem. But if I don't use it in the right way, something that is a facility becomes a dependency. So again, I'm master of the things and they don't master me. The last thing I can create karmic accounts, but also I can pay attention to really respect through that is time. Big important treasure. How to use time in the best way. Every moment is valuable. And this present moment that I have in my hands to be able to use in a worthwhile way. Not to waste it and not to waste the time of others. So this is in essence.
Yeah, and very beautiful essence actually, and very helpful because these pointers, mind, body, other people, things, and time, can be also used as a check-in point during the day for ourselves and for whoever is interested to use it. How am I using my mind? How am I using my body? And I enjoyed the way you explained the law of cause and effect through this um, theme of respect. It was the theme of today's teaching, of our teachings this morning, actually, and in fact, respect. And somehow it makes it softer to look at these things from the lens of respect and regard. Even the body, nowadays, a lot of people are busy with being healthy with the body, but that doesn't make it necessarily healthy for the mind. It becomes another obsession to be obsessed with health. But if I'm respecting my body naturally, I want the best for it. I take care of it, but I also make sure what am I doing with it, what I'm not doing with it. I make a clear distinction for myself in that. Something that has been respected and disrespected for many ages and many years, and some people believe in it and some don't, is the concept of God, a divine being, a supreme soul, Shiva, Allah, Jehovah, different names for the same personality, we can say. How do you understand this concept of divine? What is your understanding of it?
Well, you know, let's say for a correct and right balance, we need like the self, the divine, and others' life. Is balance, not to be just lost in myself and not to be just lost in the outside. We need to really connect with someone, somewhere that is able to feel the things that I'm lacking. You know, the sun, physical sun, is needed for the seed to grow. The potential is in the seed, but the light is needed for the potential to be expressed on the plant and the growth and the life of that living seed. So for us, it's the same. We need the light of the divine, the might of the divine, for us seeds of light, of values, to really grow, to give the best of ourselves. And for that, we need this silence connection. It's not so much something technical, a technique, sorry. It's more a silence connection. You go within, inwards, and then you go upwards. And that creates a relationship with the divine.
Yeah, thank you. And I think this is a good moment for us to close with the final question, which is also meditation. How do you find that silence within and that silence connection with the divine? Can you share your experience in 4 minutes of meditation with us?
Yes. So we can just keep this inner space. Turn within and feel peace surrounds me. I am not creating any other thought more than the present moment. Sometimes we go into the silence there are worries that appear because there are pending things in my life. And I see them, but I don't see them. They don't occupy the whole space of my inner self. I'm able to create and open that inner window, the window of my consciousness, so that the light of the divine can come within. And I feel a soft rays of peace and love, trust. There is a being in the universe that is beyond any other influence, any other pull, desires, and wants. I think he trusts me, and he's with me. He's a being of light, like a little sun, but unlimited as an ocean, ocean of peace, ocean of light, ocean of love. And I talk to him in second person. I am with you. And I feel your light. And I absorb your light. I feel your love. And I absorb your love. And in this orb of light and love, nothing is there. I give all my worries, all the problems, all the shadows to you. And you give me light. And I feel content for this moment. I don't need anything else. I don't want anything else. Just being with you. Breathe within and smile and keep this feeling for this next moment. You are not alone. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Esperanza, for your honesty and generosity and being with us. And thank you for Iwana for having us on this platform. Till next time, Om Shanti.